Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at ChicnScratch, and this is the project we're making today. This is week 11 of the 12 weeks of Halloween. And here are all the supplies. The measurements will be on the screen for you. They're also on the free PDF over on my website. We're going to start by coloring this designer series paper. So this is the Rustic Harvest paper, and we're using our Stampin' blends to color. I'm going to take my smaller piece of grid paper, and we're using Highland Heather, Parakeet Party, and Pumpkin Pie, and I'm using the light on all of those. So we're going to start with the Highland Heather, and I'm going to use the brush tip, and I'm just going to go straight across. It's pretty easy to do. I did go ahead and do some of it in advance so we wouldn't be here all night. So what we're going to do is color this, and then we're going to cut it. Okay, again, the brush tip. And then the Parakeet Party is just these little lines here. So if you use the brush tip, you just have to go over ever so slightly. There we go. I think we're all done. So now we can cut this paper. We're going to get the paper trimmer. So the first piece that we're going to need is 3 1/8 by 1 7/8. And we actually need 2 of those. So this already measures 3 1/8. So then 1 7/8. 1 7/8. Okay, so for this box, let me go ahead and open it up. Let me move this out of the way and show you. So we're going to open it up, and we've got, here's your treat. This will also hold the size of the Tootsie Rolls, okay? So you've got that panel that I just gave you and this panel, and then we've got these 4 left that we have to cut. Okay, so we just cut these 2 pieces that measure 3 1/8 by 1 7/8. And then we're going to take the trimmer and cut 2 pieces that measure 3 1/8, making sure I got the right measurement, by 5/8. And the 5/8 is the large mark past the 1/2 inch. So there's that one. And then there's that one. Okay, now we need 2 pieces that measure 1 7/8 by 5/8. So we're going to cut this to measure 5/8, and then this to measure 1 7/8. And we need 1 more of those, so 5/8 by 1 7/8. Okay, so all of our paper is cut. We're going to slide that aside, and we're going to stamp this little guy, the boo, and the to and from. Now, I went ahead and cut these circles out. These are the dies we're using today. If I don't stamp them properly, we can start over. Okay, so I've got my Memento ink. Just going to take the lid off, and we're going to stamp boo on this scrap piece of paper here. There's that. And then we're going to stamp to and from on the smaller circle. And then this little guy now. The next thing we're going to do is cover this basic black cardstock with this glittery washi tape, and we're going to cut out some bats. I'm going to make 3 strips. There we go. And then I'm going to get the die cut machine. Okay, so here's my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to lay this on here and then just angle these little bats on there. Okay, so we've got all of our images ready. We'll do the boo last, cutting that out. So we are ready to assemble the box, or make the box. Okay, so our basic black cardstock measures 7.5 by 5.5, and on the 7.5 inch side, I'm going to score it at 2 inches and 2 3/4 on both sides. So flip it around, 2 inches and 2 3/4. On the 5.5 inch side, I'm going to score it at 3/8 and 1 1/8, and I'm going to do that on both sides. So flip it around, 3/8 and 1 1/8. This box does have a box template, and that's included in the free PDF over on my website. I'm going to fold on the score lines and burnish with a bone folder. Two more. Okay, so now we need to do some cutting. If you'll notice, we have this, what is that, 3/8 of an inch on the top and on the bottom, okay? So what we're going to do is remove the corners. So all 4 corners, we're going to remove that, okay? And like I said, there will be a box template included in that free PDF. It shows you where to put the adhesive, where to cut, where to score, all the supplies that we use. Okay, this is how it looks right now. Then the next thing you want to do is cut out these little tabs, okay? So I'm just going to cut down to that second score line and then trim this little piece and this piece and do the same thing over here. And then we're going to angle cut those tabs. Thank y'all for your feedback on last week's project. I will start marking when we angle cut these little tabs. Little tabs or big tabs, anytime we angle cut. Okay. Now we're done with that. So now for your adhesive, we're just going to add it to these 4 tabs. I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus on these. Let me turn this over. It's a little bit easier. Ruh-roh, I got a little too much there. The good thing about this is that you can remove it really quickly. So I don't know if you've used the Stampin' Seal Plus before, but you can remove it really quickly. Okay, so it goes in there just like that. And just like that. Bella has just decided to continue to walk during this entire video. Oh, goodness. Okay, so again, I mentioned earlier that 2 of these would fit in here. Well, you got to make sure your adhesive's stuck. Okay, there we go. And that's how it fits. Now we're going to add our designer series paper. I'm going to take these back out of here. Okay, so to add our paper, we're just going to use some liquid glue. So I'm going to get all those pieces and we're going to flip them over. Isn't this beautiful paper? Both sides are pretty, right? So this is going to be the front. And someone asked the other day, it looks like I'm a little off on my measurements. Someone asked why I use liquid glue. That was a great question. I use it a lot because it allows me to move the paper around if I don't place it exactly where I want it. Yeah, so it gives me some wiggle room. And then now these pieces go over on the side. Some of you actually may remember back when I started using liquid glue. It has not been that long ago. A few years. Yeah, I'll be a demonstrator 20 years on October 30th this year. And yeah, I didn't start using liquid glue on an everyday basis, I should say. I've always used it on my coaster projects because it always worked really well. Okay, 2 more. Okay, so we've added all the paper and both sides are the same, so this can fold in or this one can fold in, whatever you prefer. The next step is we're going to add our ribbon. I've got 2 pieces of this that measure 16 inches. You don't need 16 inches, but if you want to be able to tie it, 16 inches makes it easier. So before we do that, let's go ahead and add this piece inside here. That's this here, okay? So just right in the middle. And you can skip this step if you want to, but I think it just adds something to it, right? If you go to write on this after you've added this, all you got to do is just put something underneath this and then sign it. Okay, now the ribbon. So I'm going to line up the ends, and then over here on the side, I'm going to tie it. And then we are going to glue this down so that when it's untied, it doesn't go anywhere. Okay. And the more times you tie it and untie it, the ribbon will get a little frayed on the end, and that is okay. I'm not going to trim the ends too short because, like I said, you want to have room to tie it and untie it. So I'm just going to, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not going to touch it because, like I said, it's going to get frayed. Now, we're going to glue this down with a dimensional. So I'm just going to use the black Stampin' dimensionals. Now you can glue it down here. You can glue it down back here as well, but this will hold it just fine. You can add 2 of them just to make sure. Whoops. There we go. And then now we can add, wait for it, this here. So I'm going to peel the backing off of both of these, and we're going to add this right in the middle, okay? And then this is going to get added right there in the middle. Whoops, I want to put 1 more dimensional over here on this side. This one will grab it right there, okay? There we go. Now we need to add our greeting and then our little bats. So I'm just going to cut straight across. Now I'm not very good at flagging the ends. I say that, but I'm still going to do it. Try it. Oh, and it's all cattywampus, right? I'm going to go straight across. So I'm going to take a mini dimensional. That's a question for y'all. Do you use the mini dimensionals? Do you buy them, or do you still cut? Did I word that right? Do you still cut the big ones in half like we used to? So now for the bats, I'm just going to take a mini glue dot. See, I'm going to turn the bat over, and I'm going to wad this up. Now, you can use liquid glue, and by all means, use it if you want to. Yeah, it's a little bit easier, maybe. I don't know. No, I think the glue dots are easier. Yeah, they are. Okay, so that wraps up this project. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and head over to my website and print your free PDF. The link is in the description if you're watching this video on YouTube. Have a great day. Bye.